Hola mis estudiantes, we are back at it today. And in class we reviewed our pronouns, our IOPs and DOPs, and we also reviewed our formation of commands. So during our notes, then we're just going to put them together and how do we tell someone to do something in using some sort of pronoun. So our notes are set up a little bit different today in that I'm just giving you some general headings and then I'm going to leave it up to you to write down the notes that you need. I feel like the best way to go about doing this is to look at several examples and kind of process through those. So at the end of your notes today, you should be able to explain how to form commands using pronouns, both positive commands as well as affirmative commands and negative commands. Okay, so that's kind of your overall arching goal. So keep that in mind and make sure that you jot down any questions that you have, and let's get started. So here's our first example. Levántate. All right, so we're just gonna kind of mimic your thought process. What does this look like? So first of all, is levántate, is that positive or negative? Is that an affirmative or negative command? It is indeed a positive because we don't have a no. Who's the subject? So we can tell that by our command itself. So levanta, what type of command is that? Well, we know levantar is an AR verb. So in this case, levanta is a to command. I'm talking to you. And we know that te means you, so since it's a to command and there's a te, that means that that's a reflexive verb. So, what is it saying? I'm going to jump down. What is it saying? Levántate, that means, hey, get up. You, it's time to go to school. Levántate, get up. And notice we've got a written accent here. Whenever we have a command that is affirmative, then we have to, and it has a pronoun or two pronouns in it, we have to have a written accent. And we can take that 1, 2, 3 vowels back, going backwards, and it's initially where that original emphasis is. So from that first pronoun, we go 1, 2, 3. And it's, like I said, it's just keeping that initial emphasis. Got it? Good. All right. Parece. Again, is this positive or negative? It's a positive command. We know that our verb parar, or pararse, means to stand up. So in this case, this is an usted command since we have that opposite ending. And again, this is another example of a reflexive verb. So that se is reflexive. And then we've got that accent there. Again, if you'll notice, that's 1, 2, 3 vowels back, or 3 syllables. And so, parece means, hey, you, stand up. But if you're using that usted form. Does that make sense? So far, so good? Alright, so let me switch here. Okay, so our next example, llamémoslo. Alright, so this one looks a little bit different than our first two. Again, we still know that this is an affirmative command. Well, what type of command is it? Well, we have to look at the command itself. So we know that llamemos, we know that it's a nosotros command. And in this case, that lo could mean it or him. But remember, llamar means to call. So it probably would make more sense to say call him. And remember, since it's a nosotros command, remember that translates to let's. So llamémoslo means let's call him. So notice, as opposed to a reflexive pronoun, we now have, is lo a DOP or an IOP? If you said DOP, you are correct. So let's call him. Got it? Good. All right, here's another example. Recójanla, and that la we're talking about is la tarea. Again, is this command affirmative or negative? Well, we know it's affirmative because it doesn't have a no, and then our pronoun is attached at the end. What type of command is it? Remember, recoger is an ER verb, and we also know since it's got that N at the end, we know that it's an ustedes command. So that la is referring to la tarea. Alright, so what does recojanla mean? that means, hey, you all pick it up, and we're referring to the homework. Again, so you should start to see a little bit of a pattern. All right. Whoa. Dámelo. Is this command affirmative or negative? Good, it's affirmative. What type of command is it? We know that it's a to command because dar in the affirmative command is just da. All right, so then notice we've got dámelo. So we've got two, count them, two pronouns in here. Dámelo. So that me means me, and that lo means, in this case, it's a general it. If we're dámelo, give it to me, and let's say we're talking about el papel, okay? So notice, here's really where you might want to write down some notes. Affirmative commands, we have our IOP and then our DOP. So if we've got two pronouns, then that IOP is going to come first, followed by that DOP, dámelo. And again, and notice we still have a written accent there. Got it? Good. Regálelos. Man, try to say that. Regálelos. Nos. Okay? This is not correct. Okay? This is not correct. So here's what we're going to do. Since it's such a mouthful, we're changing that le to say. Regáleselo. Much better, isn't it? Regáleselo instead of regálelos. Did I say that right? I don't know anyway. So again, is this a positive or negative command? It is a positive command. Regalar, AR, is our verb in the infinitive form. So in this example, this is an usted command. That se, we know, is our IOP. So that means to her. That los, let's just say it's general them. So what does this mean? That means give them to her. Give them to her. So our word order is just a little bit different than how we express our ideas in English. So we can't have two L pronouns in a row. So anytime you're using le or les with lo, la, los, or las, you're going to change that le to se because it's easier to say. Make sense? Okay. We're going to change things up again. Notice we've got negative commands. In this case, our subject is, again, it's a to command because levantes, that opposite ending, and it's got an es. Again, we know that this is going to be reflexive because of that te. And that's saying, hey, no, don't get up. Not time to get up. You don't get up. Does that make sense? So again, look at the location of our pronoun. With our negative commands, our pronoun comes before our actual command itself, and there's no need for any written accents. No se pare. Again, this is our same verb that we worked with, but it's the negative example. So that IOP, or excuse me, that reflexive pronoun, that reflexive pronoun just comes before our command itself. Same thing, except there shouldn't be an accent there. I forgot to reset. Oh, sorry. No accent. Copy and paste. The struggle. No lo llamemos. Again, that lo just goes before our command itself. So I'm kind of rushing through these, so if you need some more explanation, please make sure you jot that down and I would be happy to go over it. No la recogen. Again, that la, if we're talking about la tarea, just goes before our command itself. So don't pick it up. Hey, you know what? Nope, don't pick up the homework. No la recogen. Recojan, excuse me. Alright, so now let's slow down a little bit because we've got another example of our double commands, or our double pronouns. Again, it's going to be negative, and we know from our previous example in the word des that it's a to command. So again, that me is our IOP. So whenever we're writing negative commands, then that me comes first, that IOP comes first, and then that lo. So don't give it to me is what this command means. Don't give it to me. Alright, so again, your IOP comes first and then your DOP. Alright, and then finally, our last example is no se los regale. And again, that shouldn't have an accent. That was my bad. So same example as before, but again, we're still going to change that le to se. So we cannot have le, los, les, la, le, la. We can't have any of those. We can't have that combination. So we're going to change that IOP, that le or lace. We're just going to change it to say because it's easier to say out loud. So no se los regale. Again, and that should not have a written accent in there. Please let me know if you have any questions, and we are going to do lots of practice with this in class. All right, gracias.